It's not visual.
You could put your camera on if you like.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
And I can share it too, right?
You can, oh yes, you can share too.
I can't share the social media.
Absolutely. Of course you can.
Well, you could share the Zoom.
Yeah, he can share Zoom. If you like, go to participants and click the invite button at the bottom left hand and copy link, and you could send it to whoever you like.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Okay, I'm in though. I do it at Islam.
Islam. So this is Brother Elamin Muhammed Ali. He's one of our brothers who's a member of the Nation of Islam. He said for 30 years he came in contact with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And you know, I've been hearing the brother demonstrate, and I like the brother's demonstration. But it seems like sometimes he connects, not connects, but like he adds some of the Honorable Elijah Muhammed teachings in with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which, as y'all all know, I come from the Nation of Islam. I was born in the Nation of Islam, and it is a connection, most definitely, because I would not have the vision to see the Prophet's teachings if I wasn't in the nation. And the thing that drew me to the Prophet's teachings, because when I was in the Nation of Islam, you know, always talked about one day, we fast and pray that the devil will be taken off the planet and that we'll be ruling once again. But they was talking about like a mothership coming, and as I got older, you know, that wasn't realistic for me anymore. So when I came in contact with the Moors and they started showing me the law by way of the Zodiac Constitution at that time, I saw that this was more a practical way for Moors to obtain some type of freedom, justice, and equality. So for me, as I begin to advance myself in the teachings of Moorish science by way of seeing Bay and then later through the Prophet, I was still holding on to the most Honorable Elijah Muhammed's teachings and trying to mix the two. And then one day I read a book dealing with Buddhism because the Prophet said we honor Buddha. So when I saw that the Prophet put that on the nationality card, I went and got a bunch of books on Buddhism. And I read a story, and in the story it says that one day there was a man, he wanted to go across a river. So he had to make him a little boat to go across the river. He made the little boat. He goes across the river, and then it was a big mountain. And he loved that little boat, but he could not get across the mountain with that boat because it was too heavy. So he had to leave that boat there to get across the mountain. And that's when I realized that I had the time that I had to, don't forget my foundation, but I had to leave that there and elevate to fully immerse myself in the teaching of Prophet Noble Drew Ali to get an understanding. And I feel that that's sometimes we have to do. Sometimes we go through schools of thoughts. We have to sometimes, to get to understand that school of thought, we have to put that other school of thought down to advance and elevate and become adept in the next school of thought. Because if you try to bring the other school of thought with you, you're going to cause confusion amongst yourself. And then you bring about misunderstanding. So for many years, I was trying to bring the teaching of Honorable Elijah Muhammad into more of a science. And when I read that statement in Buddhism, I really had to put that down for right now to advance myself in more of a science. And I think that that's what a lot of brothers need to do when they come in contact with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings and they from the whole the Nation of Islam, because you're gonna cause conflict, have a misunderstanding. And when I began to do that, I had to become an empty glass, and everything I knew I had to put to the side and be filled up my cup again with more of a science. And now today I'm a Grand Sheik, Adab Grand Sheik, and different things of that nature. So I tell the Moors in my temple who has knowledge of stuff or anything, when you come in this temple, you have to put your cup empty. Because you come with a half cup, you're not gonna get the fun. You have to leave what you know outside the door. And when you begin to advance in this science, then you can add on what you know into it, and it may be advance you. But at the time you begin more science, you have to put that down. You have to put that to the side. And that's how you're able to advance. So by me watching your demonstrations, you know, my understanding, I think you need to put the boat down to get across that mountain. So I want you to give us your perception, your perception of moral science. And this is not a debate; it's a bill between brothers. And then we could give you a pure cup of understanding of moral science. Maybe it could advance you on your way. And we also could learn from you as well, because we don't have all the answers also. So this session between us is a each one teach one.
Yes,
Islam. So with that, I want to say peace.
Islam. Beautiful. That was a I got the floor now?
Yeah, you got the floor.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful demonstration. And I recognize the spirit here in through, you know, if we was in a building, I say in this house. And you know how different uh candidates for president or some type of political party, or even ministers or sheikhs, or you know, or entertainers, artists, and things of that nature. Whenever they go somewhere, like you might have an artist come to Detroit, and they'd be like, "I love Detroit." Oh, you know, then he go to New York. New York, my second home. Then he go down to L.A. I always want, you know, they that's what they have to do. That's, you know. But when I say I'm more like Khaled when he said, "I know I'm a Moor," and I wouldn't say it if I didn't, you know, mean it, or if I didn't know it. So when I say if I was in a building with you, because I don't know who else on the line, or I don't know, you know, how many different, but if you're the sheikh, the sheikh, in the ADAP, and you share information with your temple, I would say I feel the spirit of Allah here. I feel that period whenever encountering with you or any other brothers. Some of them I know when it's not genuine, not when I'm not gonna say genuine, but they are not in a position to accept growth, or you may call it emotional, and I may call it emotional. But at some point in time, if neither people are not emotional, you will be able to decipher that. So I just wanted to say that on the intro. And now, when you say the mothership, that's beautiful. You know where you went with it, and how you said that when you got a deeper study into more science in the zodiac acts, or the zodiac whatever. I heard about that, and I even encountered some information on that, as well as I encountered some information on Buddha about the wheel as well. So I know you what you mean by how you got a deeper understanding through the zodiac aspect of it. But what I want to add to that and keep it moving, because it's a build, and to build, we just sharing to step on top of each other's shoulder to look further into what these great men left behind for us to bring our nation together, to form this government, and to do exactly what you knew at one upon a time, and still may believe, that we eventually are going to, you know, take this thing back. That's the destiny for the so-called black man and woman here in America, for sure. So that's our destiny. But the mothership, I too, when I studied the teachings, when I came in, I loved everything. I didn't take to the mothership. It was like somebody sharing something with you that you love so much, not love, but you like, this the truth. And you getting all this truth, and then it's like, and you can say this in Dianetics, but you can't say this in more science temple. But when you go off into the studies of a L. Ron Hubbard, the studies of a Elijah Muhammad, f.o.i. Muhammad, when you get to a certain point, this is where something to disturb you. Like your understanding may go out of your understanding. So in the nation, we're going to say the mothership. That is going to disturb any real human being that's searching for God. That might put a stop in your tracks. I feel that, I overstand that, I understand that, and I understand that. But what I want to say to you is, brother, and it's not to win no favors with no individual. It is just me sharing something with you that helped me to understand I need the boat and I got to climb this mountain. Now I can, like you say, leave the boat behind and go across this mountain, but I'm gonna need the boat eventually again. I can relate to that, but I'm not. My boat is not to be destroyed. I need this. So what happened for me? I never looked up in the sky, and I'm not going to long wind on nothing. I'm just going to hit each point and then pass it back because you only hit a few points, and I'm going to hit a few points. But it's just for you to get an understanding of me. And when I say me, meaning understanding my perspective and why. And then that's how you're able to disagree, to agree to disagree, because I'm a firm believer that you can't agree to disagree if you don't understand why the individual think and feel the way that they feel or think the way they feel. Meaning you either you're not listening or this person is saying something completely crazy. But if the person is speaking in a rational, mathematical sense, even though we may not agree, but we agree to disagree. And that's because you understand where my math is leading me. I understand where your math is leading you. So I say all that to say is I never was the one to look up in the sky for mother planes and baby planes and mother ships and none of that. I read it. I said, wow. But I got all this other information that the messenger left behind in the message to the black man that I said, damn, like why you had to put this here? I mean, that's how I felt. But I just, I left it alone. I didn't say this nigga crazy because I was always looking for God. I was always looking to be back to, well, I didn't know I was looking to be back, but this world stole our innocence. And you see it doing it today with the children and how they promoting this homosexuality, how it's just so blatantly out there. So we understand what they're doing to the mind of the children, and we were once children. So this world stole my innocence. And when I bumped into the message to the black man and studied that, it gave it back to me. So I'm speaking a little bit in hindsight when I said I was always looking to get my innocence back. I didn't know I was looking to get my innocence back. I was looking for truth. And so when I studied that part of it, it was so magnificent. It was like good news. But when I got to the mother plane aspect, I just left it alone because of this good news. And then when I was going back and forth to Chicago for 9 months. This is my story, brother. I was 9 months. I was going back and forth every Friday. I was going to pick up bean pies, CDs, and things of that nature. I just started it on my own because I wound up buying a restaurant with the former captain here in Detroit. And we wasn't open yet. So I was just, getting the foundation set up. So I was doing that for 9 months. And one particular trip I was riding, and as I was riding, I seen this, plane come past me. I seen two planes. They came, they did some old, they came and did like a turn and flew back. And like a turn, just came and did a turn, like a U-turn or something. It was kind of not too far, but it was just like wow, like to myself. I was just like, wow, that's sweet. That's what I said. That was sweet. That was a nice turn. That's all I said. I wasn't thinking nothing. So I'm still driving, but as I'm driving, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm thinking some type of hip hop artist or somebody with money flying some type of remote control airplanes or something like that. That's where my mind instantly went. It just went there. So I kind of looked right to the left, looking for the farm where these planes gonna land at or something. This is how I'm thinking. But then it came back. One of them came back. It came back. Now it was flying low, real low, not way up in the air. Not, well, I think I see it was a light. Now, none of this, brother. And I'm showing you my route, how I'm rooted. One of the reasons I'm rooted. And I'm just sharing this with you based on your study of the mothership and what made it so easy for you to drop your boat. Like, to me, you didn't destroy it. I don't know what you did with it, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't leave it. I know that for sure, because you still got you still got, like you said, you still got some roots connected in your soul. And so I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna be malice, like you destroyed your boat, brother, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, peace more.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah, well, let me just say something. I wasn't saying that to build about the mothership or nothing like that. That was just my story. I want to get into more of the build of the more of science. I'm not here to discredit. If anybody believe in the mothership, that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna dispute that for your own experience. I was just going through, my evolution into more of a science. I'm not here to to go discredit.
I understand that, but that's your base of a transformation of yours. And like you said, you elevated to be sheep in the ADAP, and you have your own temple. And the mothership aspect, what you use, will always be something that you would use to try to diffuse somebody once you get to a higher level of this building. I'm just throwing that right out the window for me, for you to understand me, because nobody can use it on me as that, because I seen two baby planes flying very low. One came back, flew with me in a counter like this, slow enough for me to look at it. And I said to myself, that's not a toy. I said, that's real. Then I seen the messenger say 3 bombs. I seen 2 bombs, 2 big bombs. I thought it was gas tanks. So my point to you is, I seen 2 baby planes with my own eyes in the daylight in September, flying slow. So I'm rooted in the aspect of it exists, the mother plane. I'm rooted in that. That's all I'm saying, to go to go a step further, because yes, I did encounter the Prophet Noble Ali, and I'm encountering him with the understanding and the belief of the mother plane. And so when we get to the zodiac, that's what I'm saying. In the zodiac aspect of the study, it speaks to you about something about the a wheel or
No,
something.
when I said the zodiac, I talk about. All right, it was a brother named Clarence Mosley Bay who in 1947 had a group or organization called the Clock of Destiny Order of the Great Seal. He had a constitution called the Zodiac Constitution. So in New York City in the 80s and 90s, Moors was affiliated with that particular organization was in the streets of New York City. When I came in contact with the Moors, I didn't come in contact with Moors from the Moor Center of America. I came in contact with Moors from that particular organization that showed me this constitution called the Zodiac Constitution. That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about the actual Zodiac. It was a constitution called the Zodiac Constitution that was created by C.M. Bay, Clarence Mosley Bay, when I was talking about this. So I was just talking about my introduction into Moorish science. Now, it's a book called in 1947, when the U.S. government was making ships or things that look like UFOs. So I'm not saying that the government do not create crafts that look like UFOs that people could see and may think that something else made that, but that's not what I want to get into. It's fine. You can believe in the mothership. That's
Okay.
cool.
Yes, sir. Got you.
Now, I heard you on a bill where you said that we cannot have a nationality unless by way of coming through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
No, sir. I said no one can confer nationality. None of these groups can confer nationality upon any of us right now, based on uh, uh, my studies of from what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did.
So
Eh,
Islam, if I may interject, because with the build, ultimately, just to give a real quick, so we have a framework to understand this. This build is about there are contradictions between the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. You're attempting to represent both of them, so you're going to have to be able to address, where the two differ in terms of their teachings. For example, Elijah Muhammad subscribes that we're Asiatics. Prophet Noble Jew Ali subscribes to we're Asiatics. But Prophet Noble Jew Ali specifically says that we're not black. Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that we are black. We're the Asiatic black man. So how do you reconcile two conflicting teachings and make them into one teaching? This is kind of this is at the heart of what we're getting at, and what we hope you'll be able to express in this demonstration today.
Oh, praise to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we could start right there with the black thing.
Beautiful.
How do you stand on your square pertaining to being called black, pertaining to being branded black, and then we could go back around to the thing you said about only Honorable Elijah Muhammad can confer nationality. But we'll start there with the black thing.
Yes, sir. That's beautiful right there. Now, with me just speaking shortly about when I spoke about the mother plane, I gave a root of how I seen baby planes, so I'm rooted there. So when we get to dealing with the black aspect of it and things of that nature, if God didn't write his name on my heart and I actually experience things that I'm not trying to convince somebody to believe in that aspect. I just wanted to get that as a side note. Because whenever you study the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and you coming from the Nation of Islam, the reason why the brothers is so hard, why they downplay the messenger said honor Prophet Noble Drew Ali and honor Marcus Garvey. They downplay it by simply saying I honored Martin Luther King. But he didn't mention Martin Luther King. He mentioned Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey. So what happens is the brothers deviate from what the messenger said, because we understand we got to deal with signs and symbols as well. See what happened when we get to dealing with suspicion and assumption, things get to going wrong way. That's why for suspicion and assumption, you got to deal with signs and symbols as well. So to study Noble Drew Ali and not rooted in the messenger, your heart automatically, and if the minister didn't make it so easy for us, will automatically call the messenger and the minister and Nasrullah Muhammad traitors and hypocrites. That's how powerful Noble Drew Ali's teachings are. That's how truthful and accurate they are. So when you ask that question about the black and the Asiatic, they both agree that we are Asiatics. That's one thing they agree on. When you say, he said we are the black Asiatic, and there's a lot of areas I can go in, but I choose to take the simple route because my study is more of a spiritual, common sense, and logical in that aspect, not of history and the breakdown of the depths of words in so many areas. But black can be a description of things of that nature. But if you take it to the simplest terms, the black man, the dead man are the Asiatic gods of the universe, Moors, whatever one you want. So I can take so to put black there and to know their hearts because I'm from them. We was never taught bad or to fight against our brothers and things of that nature. So I don't even have it in me because we got the 5 principles or the 4 principles: freedom, justice, equality, love, peace, XYZ, Islam, whatever. That's the base of this whole thing. That's the
So let
whole
me.
base.
Well,
So
yeah,
so
And
peace.
brother Elamin.
let me
Yeah.
close that point out for you. Unless you want to come in,
No,
I'm
no, no. Go
focused.
ahead. You can close your point out. Go for it.
Because I'm focused. I've been okay. So the base is freedom, equality, peace, justice, and love. That's the foundation of the Moorish Science Temple, and that's the foundation of the Nation of Islam. So we have to be able to extend that. I can understand how the Moors feel when you hearing the Nation of Islam speaking directly to the black aspect, like as is it selling us or taking us deeper into slavery or have some type of contract with the government. I can feel that aspect of it. I can, as far as, because I'm able to get in my brother's shoes as well. But I'm from that, and I'm not a follower. I'm a student. So I got a lot of brothers that's totally against me, and I tell them y'all like that because when you look at Noble Drew Ali's teachings, it make you say, "Damn, he stole this," or "Damn, he was once a part of that," or that's what it forced you to do. But when you look at what happened when you're dealing in prophecy and spiritual things of that nature, our people are tied to the word black. If you tell them that they're not black, they'll kill you. So that's what kept the nation, the Moors couldn't get another grip after the prophet because of how the shallow grave, how shit, like that's a deep grave, no shallow. The grave that they put
Islam,
up.
peace, more. On the meeting, we keep our language to the mildest form. I will have to ask you to refrain from cursing. Islam.
Yes, sir. Brother, listen, I try my best, but if it's mean on here, we're gonna have to, because I can't deal with the feelings. And I'm gonna do the best I can, yes, sir, because I know better. But I'm passionate in this area because I'm talking to some very powerful men, and I know some guys. I know who, I know when you're dealing with adepts and sheikh and sheiks. Only thing missing is a 33-degree Mason or something like that. So I'm not being, I don't mean it like
Well,
that.
it's Islam, brother. We brothers, so we being gentle with you, but we
Yes.
gotta kind of have to have a more back and forth build, because my initial question was about the term black and the prophet saying basically this is like basically haram to a Moorish American to call
Yes, sir.
one another black.
Yes, sir. I
But the
said
Nation
that.
of Islam fully embraces the term as an identity. It says in our Quran, questions for Moorish children, can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? No. It says in our divine constitution and bylaws that we are teaching our people our nationality and that they are not Negro, black, colored, etc., etc. So all those terms are not terms that are identities. The prophet goes even further to say that that is a sin to go to not own up to the Constitution in name and principle. That you by clinging to the word black, you cling to the principles of the rules of slavery. We're not even dealing with who's right or who's wrong. That's not the discussion that we even have it at this moment in time. We're saying that one is saying one thing, another is saying another thing. And it sounds like you're riding the fence. Like you're saying, well, this, Elijah Muhammad, he said, well, they agree on this. We're not talking about what they agree on. We're discussing what they disagree on, and they're not little tiny little things that they disagree. These are major core principles and tenets and teachings in these two different distinct doctrines. And they disagree on these major points. So you're attempting, and I'm sure even when you with your brothers from the nation, they're on the opposite side doing the same thing. Well, the Nation of Islam teaches this, and the Moorish Science Temple of America teaches that. How you trying to do both, brother? I'm sure you're getting that on both sides, but both sides are right from our standpoint to say that these two things do not go together. They're like oil and water in some instances. You could find ways where we want to uplift our people and economic prosperity. You can find 1,000 ways how we're alike. You could compare the Moorish Science Temple of America to other organizations that have nothing to do with uplifting our people and find commonalities in them. We're talking about the differences. And so if we saying, and we saying what the prophet saying that, man, not only are we not black, a man can't even be black. And then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who's also claimed to be a messenger of Allah in some form, is saying something contradictory relating it to his divine teachings. You're gonna have to be able to reconcile those things in a more succinct way, because it's not, you still didn't connect them. You talked for a few minutes, but no connection has been made where it's like, all right, so that suffices. Let's move on to the next question. That makes sense. Let's move on. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand you're coming from very clear. Yes, sir. And as I'm speaking, I'm bringing it around to a point. In short, to answer your question, in short is our people are buried in the word black, and you can't even tell them that they're not black. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was very wise, because we met our people where they stand. If you take the word black off of that, then now if you put some civics and things into what we got with our belief about God appeared in a man. See, that aspect of it is something that the Moors may never believe, but it's cool if long as they believe in self. It's God itself. We believe that God appeared in Nationality Muhammad. So I'm saying to you, from my understanding of it, it was a beautiful tactic from the messenger and from Nationality Muhammad to meet
So
our.
it is long. So you saying that we should lie to our people
No, brother. I said
that we
it's
black?
fine. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
No, I'm saying, like, so you saying we should lie to our people and tell them that we black? Because you see, let me just say something. You made a statement that was very misinformed. You said that after Prophet Noble Ali, the Muslim Temple wasn't able to grab our people, but you must have never heard of Grand Sheikh F. Turner L, who had 30,000 members in the East Coast in the 1950s. You never must have heard of never John Givens L, who had many followers and businesses in the 1940s, or the Moorish Colony by F. Nelson Bay. See, like, the movement did not die with the Prophet, because people don't know about these great men that extended the teaching of Prophet Noble Jolly all the way from the late 1920s all the way to the 1970s.
But
Through
that's what.
even through one of our teachers, Grant Richardson Dingle L and Timothy Dingle L, the Morse movement still was thriving and still moving forward. So it didn't die with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And these brothers were successful, and they never used the term black.
Right,
So
but we don't know them. We don't know them. The most popular spiritual man in the whole wide world is the most honorable Minister Farrakhan. You can't
see,
deny that.
right. See, right now we're not getting into.
No,
But
no, no, no. You
well,
just brought up somebody with
well,
20.
let me finish. Let me
But
finish
no, no.
more.
Let me help you, because, like
No,
I
I'm
said,
not. I want to let me just finish my statement that I got. Then I'll let you get it, because you talk for a while. Let me
yes, sir.
just.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
So what I'm saying is that um that the movement still thrive. We're not here to, like, put up other men like Farrakhan, and that we trying to say. But we saying to you that you're not justifying. You still have not justified the term black. And why should we use the term black
I
when
didn't
black
say you.
about according to science, I mean death. So how are you mixing the two?
I didn't say use it. I said it was used for a time to reach our people, to get us morally upright, to prepare us to take place among the affairs of men. We had to be prepared morally first. So black was, it was used in that aspect more than me.
So
That
what's
that that's I'm not saying use it and promote it. It's time for that to go. When the minister depart, that's over with. That teaching, now it comes back to what you guys are demonstrating on. But to attack the messenger and the minister, that's where it's a problem, because that's
we're
why I
not
said,
attacking. We're not attacking the messenger or the minister.
I know, but we're in the back room talking. I don't see you guys doing that. And this is why we're supposed to talk in the back room. We're going to talk about the hard issues. We don't talk about the hard issues in public. like other people come attack each other. So no, we're having.
You still have you have to explain to us.
I just explained it to you. You're not hearing. I told you it was a beautiful tactic. I didn't say I don't agree with you. Can't use it no more. It was used as a beautiful tactic because it galvanized the people. No different than Marcus Garvey did not teach religion. He didn't feel it was his duty, his position to do it. He spoke to a broader, more African, pan-African nationality movement. Nationality is the order of the day. It was implemented by Honorable Ali. He came in a spiritual, a religious aspect of nationality. The Nation of Islam came in the spiritual aspect of the identity of God and the identities of ourselves. But nationality is necessary in order to establish that position as being a God or X, Y, and Z. That's my position.
So are you saying
the other members? I'm not the other members, brother.
So are you
it was used for a time.
Are you saying?
Yes, sir.
So are you saying that you just said that the nation taught a knowledge of self, right? But if you're teaching that you black, how is that a knowledge of yourself? Because that's not who we are. We're not black.
But that's who. That go ask Pookie. Is he black or is he more? Go ask Pookie.
Because Pookie don't know who he is.
No, go ask. But Pookie needs to know, right? So you gotta meet Pookie where he's.
I get what he's saying. I get what you're saying, though. You saying you're basically saying that it was a tactic used by Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it was successful to get our people to come to nationality. But now you're saying though that it is a wrong teaching. It shouldn't be taught no more. It shouldn't be taught anymore.
No more. It's a wrap.
Okay, so then you will be in agreement then that they both can't be right. One of them had to be wrong in this instance. You're essentially saying that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is wrong in the case of us being black.
No, I said he used that as a tactic to galvanize his people to.
No, I got you. I even reiterated it to you, and you confirmed it.
None of that.
So, but we also established that there are two. I got you, Mo.
That's what I'm saying. Don't add nothing to it or take away.
I'm not adding nothing to it. Everything that I'm about to say, you said.
You just said.
I do have a question.
Okay, well, walk with me. Islam, Mo. Just walk with me. It's Islam. I got you, Mo. Just walk with me, right?
Yes, sir.
Walk with me 1 second. Interrupt me if I'm misquoting you or I'm not saying something that's factual that occurred. You may interrupt me at any time that occurs. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So just walk with me so we could kind of get up to the point where we at now, get clarity on that, and then we can move on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You said that these are two contradictory teachings, that they do not, that both are saying something different in regards to the term black in our identity.
Yeah.
You said that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you also said that it was a tactic used by Elijah Muhammad, that it is a misnomer. It is incorrect. It's not an identity that we should go by, although Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught this even up until the day that he transcended or was brought aboard a mothership, whatever you believe.
And the ministers teaching.
And the organization continues to teach today. Right. Yes, so sir. You agree then that he was teaching something that was wrong. So
he was teaching something to meet his people, to where they at.
But was it right or was it wrong? What he was teaching? Was it correct?
It was right.
Was it correct or was it incorrect what he taught? I'm asking you a question. Was it correct?
I just answered it. You don't like that because
okay, you said it was perfect for the time. All right. Well, can a man be black? Can a man be black?
No.
Okay, then. So he taught something that's incorrect then.
No,
he taught something that wasn't true.
What they believe is correct.
Okay, all right, fine. Let's rephrase it because I see what's going on. Let's rephrase it.
Go ahead.
Did he teach something in terms of all right, let's say it like this. When he taught our people that they were black, was it true?
No.
Okay, then. So he taught something that was incorrect. It wasn't true. It was false. It was wrong. Thank you. Now we can move on to the next subject.
Well, but I have a question about that. I do.
I want to add.
One second, Mr. Parr. 1 second, Mr. Parr.
I want to add to that. He met our people where they stood. Speak the language of the people. That's how you become able to reach them. You can't be above the people and reach them. You got to come down off the mountain and go get their hands and lead them out. That's what you have to do, and that's what I believe and know. What that's that's my perception of it.
Sheikh Muhammad, how many followers did the Prophet Noble Julie have before he transcended in 1929? Was it 10,000? Or any other Sheiks remember?
Islam, it was more than 10,000. At that time, it was approximately 20,000 if you look at the minutes of the first convention. Islam.
So if Prophet Noble Julie was able to have 20,000 follow members before Elijah Muhammad was on the scene, he didn't use the term black. Then what you saying, how did that add up?
Because if you look at the world today, because you have eyes, signs and symbols, do not get lost in the dogmatic. Look at what they done to your people, my people. Look what they done to them. So we had to get them in there. It was a big, you see what happened. They weren't even
The
black.
Prophet had 20,000 followers more
The
before
prophet
the
was
Honorable Elijah
first
Muhammad.
died, whatever.
Okay, he had 20,000 though.
That's
So
beautiful.
why didn't? So all right. So how? Why did he use the term black then? If it was not, why he didn't use the term black? He used the term more and was able to get
Because it
20,000
wasn't a
followers.
perfect time, brother. We have a
How
time.
he came before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and got 20,000 members, and then use the term black. So what you saying? Wait, let me finish.
It was
What
a
you saying don't make. So what you saying does not make
of
sense.
all of America, brother. Marcus Garvey had way bigger following than Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He came in the vein of Pan-African nationality. So it's different ways to skin the cat, brother. What I'm trying to do is take the negative spin off the identity of the messenger, so we all can see.
We don't have a negative spin on the messenger in here. Listen, no, it's not. No, because I'm the Grand Sheik of this temple, and no, we don't. I'm the Grand Sheik more. I'm the Grand Sheik of this temple. I was born in the Nation of Islam.
I mean, that don't mean nothing,
it does mean something. So I'm not gonna teach these brothers in this temple to go against the messenger or have teach talk ill about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We don't do that in here. So you have my point is that you're mixing Honorable teachers with the Prophet Muhammad teachers on Facebook, and you're incorrect, and that's what we're doing this bill. And you just admitted just now that saying you black was wrong, it wasn't correct, and we agree with you, and now we can move forward to the next question then.
Yeah, but I don't want you to leave that for me as your punchline. You see, I have no problem with mixing truth and truth. See, you guys, all the believers from the Nation of Islam and in the first study of the Prophet, they say mixing as if it's a problem with mixing truth. It's a problem with mixing falsehood. That's where the problem is at.
That's what you're doing.
Every religion has some aspect of the truth. It's one tree, all with different blinds and branches and leaves. It's one tree, one root. That's all it is. So I'm not against nothing that the prophet demonstrating, and I'm not against nothing that the messenger demonstrated. I understand that was for a time. The minister even said it's for a time. We all know it's for a certain time. The time is to when you see that they have arisen. When we have arisen, came to know who we are, how are we gonna know who we are? We're gonna know who we are when one of us stand up and say, we are X, Y, and Z. Then you know that the time had come that they arrived. I'm standing up saying that, no, that time is over, it's a wrap. I'm one from over there, and I gotta deal with that with my brothers as well. But on this side of the fence, as long as there's no malice towards the messenger, a lot of things, majority of the things that you guys demonstrate, I'm in agreement with it. But when we get to dealing with the malice and that part of the messenger, Master Muhammad, I don't agree with. And I don't try to be friends with people like that. I like to build with them to understand it. But
yeah, we're not even talking about the like any malice was the messenger. So we were just talking about the term black. We all agreed that it's an incorrect term, and like the Sheikh Amir has said that you can't mix apples and oranges. Black is wrong. It's not a nationality. We agree with that. That the Mr. Honorable by using that term, that was a misnomer. Sheikh Muhammad, you want to say something?
Islam, yes. I wanted to put something on the mind of the more. All right, so we all here, we have a respect for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. A lot of us, through our personal life, we come from the teachers of Elijah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But what we're saying is this: we're not going to harp on who's wrong or is right in this aspect. What we're saying is that you're speaking about meeting people where they're at, depending on the time. We deal with time as well, cycle ages. So we're going to break it. I'm going to quickly break this down by the decade.
Yes, sir.
The Moorish Science of America was founded 1913 AD, okay? The UNIA was founded in 1914. Then you have the Nation of Islam, July 4th, 1930, right?
Yes, sir.
So you got the 10s, the 20s, and the 30s, right? Are you familiar with Richard Pryor?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you go on to YouTube, you can look up where he speaks about him speaking of his father. And he talks about how if you was to call somebody black in that time, that they would fight you. And then they would tell you that they are Negro. So Negro, as we understand it, is the name given to gave to a river in West Africa by Moors because it contains black water. Linguistically, it means black. So both of these terms, no matter what language it comes in, what capacity it is used in, is incorrect. So what we're stating is that Islam, let me finish this. I'm at the end. So what we're saying is that this incorrect term, no matter how comfortable and how deeply rooted we have it, it cannot be utilized. It is incorrect, and it should be put to the side. So the reason why I bring that up, as we were talking about Buddha earlier, is this prophet in this rendition of truth, at that time, he talks about you have to learn how to let things go. So with just dealing with truth, there's no left truth, right truth, there's just truth. The truth of the matter is this is incorrect and it cannot be used. With that, I say peace.
And now, peace.
I agree.
Mr. Stephan, he wanted to ask a question. Sorry, Mr. Stephan, you can ask your question. Mute your phone, Mr. Stephan.
Yes. So my question was, it pertained to the question of, are we black? And I'm not a Moor. I don't identify as a Moor. But my question was, historically, if Moors are prominent in the development and advancements of Europe, as well as the rest of the Western world through mathematics, sciences, medicine, and all that, if these people are so prominent in that development of architecture and everything, could it be fair to say that there were people who were not black who also were identifying themselves as Moors?
Yes, you're right.
So I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that other people assimilated to the Moorish culture
You're
in
right.
the development.
Yes, you're right. There were other nationalities that was under the Moorish Empire who was would be under the Moorish jurisdiction now, be classified as Moors. They wasn't Moors by bloodline, but they were Moors by being members of the Moorish Empire and had the rights and immunities and protections under the Moorish Empire. Like for instance, you have a people called the Mamelukes, who were Caucasian slaves who rose up and became sultans in the Moorish Empire and had the title Bey and so forth. So yeah, there were many other national. When you're dealing with an empire, there are many other nationalities within that empire.
Fact.
Like
Did
for
that satisfy
instance,
your question?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it does. Absolutely. I appreciate the answer. Thank you.
like
Islam.
Mr. Stephan, may I ask you a question? What's your nationality and where your background?
Um, uh, I'm Norwegian and English. The Norwegians, the old Vikings and stuff, raided England, and that's my background.
Yeah, so the Moors, they went into them areas as well, and sometimes Norwegians, some of them converted to Islam was within the Moorish Empire, and we had the protection under the Moorish Empire, even though they was Norwegian by nationality.
Yeah, you also have many people of European descent that inherited Moorish names. Like the name M.o.o.r.e. That's a Moorish name, or names like Brown, or even names like Black. A lot of these names that Europeans carry today, we may not connect. Maurice, many names and many variations. Some directly connected to the root word of Moor, some not. You could see many historical family crests throughout Europe. You'll see an image of a Moor on that family crest, that particular bloodline. So you had many many Europeans that were adopted into or had some way that they became affiliated with Moors in Great Britain and surrounding areas that have a Moorish heritage through nationality.
No, absolutely. So that I guess that's kind of my question is like, so if they assimilated into Moorish culture, are they considered Moors because they assimilated?
They cannot Moors by bloodline, but they're Moors by citizenship, as you could say, and they
Right,
had the
national descent.
protection. Yeah, they have protections if under the Moorish trees and so forth.
All right, that was my question. Sorry for interrupting your debate.
No, thank you, I appreciate it. All right,
Islam.
so you finish Sheikh Muhammad with that aspect of Black.
Yes, I just wanted to correct something. I gave a wrong date improperly. It was due to human error. Pardon me. The UNIA was not founded in 1918. It was founded in 1914. The Prophet organization, Moorish Science of America, founded in 1913. The UNIA, founded in 1914. And the Nation of Islam, 1930 Islam.
Yeah. You said 1914, Sheikh. You was right the first time. All right. So now the more said Brother Ali, he said that the only way nationality could be conferred is through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Is that correct?
No, I didn't say through him. I said you have to have, based on what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, and from my studies of studying Noble Drew Ali and then studying different movements of people setting up governments and things of that nature. And I understood it, my understanding, because my base is from the messenger, is you have to have a tribe, you have to have land, you have to have a government. And so it goes unity, land, government, and that's how you confer nationality that way. I can't. That was my meaning for the statement of that. So if you're trying to say that you're a government or you can confer, not proclaiming, you can confer nationality without land of your own, without a constitution, without a tribe, and you can do it just with a government that you're establishing, and either you go through the UN or you don't. Then I'm saying that it's not conferred. That's not accurate. That
Do you
I
have
mean,
Do you have any law references to this, like any constitutional amendment, any type of congressional record, any type of law to substantiate your statement right now?
no,
Or general international law,
no,
things of that.
no. But I would love to hear you guys state it from that aspect because I have experience with dealing with those people. They don't give a damn about nothing you talking
So,
about.
so you making a claim, but you have no type of law to back your claim up. This is something you just freestyling.
Yes, sir. No, I followed it from Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I didn't freestyle it. I followed
Oh,
their
show us where Prophet Nobody said this, that you cannot.
Prophet
We
Noble
don't.
Drew Ali told you have to proclaim your nationality to be with us. He told you that your nationality card is going to change in your pocket overnight. Now you tell me the meaning of
Wait a
going.
minute. It said, where does that says that nationality going? Where it says your nationality going to change in your pocket overnight? What the prophet
No,
said that at?
did the prophet say that? Yeah, yes or no? Did he tell you that? No,
No, he didn't.
Islam.
I said he said it's going to change in your back pocket.
Okay, where? Where this is at in his literature?
I'm asking you, does it say that?
You made a statement. I'm asking where this is at.
You don't. We're not trying to go. If he didn't say it, if you say he didn't say it,
Yeah, you just made a statement that he said that. I'm asking you where can I find this at?
I'm asking you, did he say it? Yes or no?
No, he didn't.
Okay, well, if he didn't say that, then what I said, I got wrong information, which I know I didn't, and I'm not going to argue with you in
So
that aspect.
what you don't understand, what you gotta understand, what you got,
Argue the point when you saying that he didn't say it, and when you go into the circle 7 of things of this nature, when it's telling you in Act, I don't know what it is, Act 6 of things of that nature, because
you're
I
guessing,
Islam.
you're guessing a lot, brother. What
I'm
you're
not.
talking about, listen, what you're talking about is something called oral statements of the prophet, where members said the prophet said he said this. That's like hadith. The
Mhm.
prophet never wrote this in none of his literature. These are what other people said he said. Now, he never said this, and we don't have no proof that he said these things himself. So that's why we don't subscribe to these oral statements or what they call hadiths. It's what other people said that he said he said. But the
Okay, so
prophet has. Let me finish because I
yes,
want to
sir.
educate you on the prophet because you're being misinformed. The prophet literature is the one-on-one questions for Moorish children, the Moorish Holy Quran, the Divine Constitution and bylaws, additional bylaws, and something called the Moorish literature.
I got all
That
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 on my desk in there.
yeah, but a book without understanding is worthless.
Yeah, no, if I can't deal with you,
So
you saying that he didn't say that,
yeah,
I can get
yeah.
another more brother on
What I'm
here.
saying that those statements that I'm gonna just finish and let you build.
I'm not wrong. I'm just wrong with you. I can get another brother and say, yes, he did say that.
No, you can't because we all got this. That's from the oral statements. It says that somebody else said he said that, but the Moorish literature that he wrote and was compiled by John Gibbons L. You'll never find that statement in his literature.
Yes, sir.
What you gonna say, Muhammad?
Islam. I was just going to give the brother some guidance. Okay, so within the Moorish Holy Quran, right? You have chapters. There's no acts in it. Which you were stating from, as the Grand Sheikh already iterated, that comes from out of the oral statements. Now, when you open up the Circle 7 Quran, you see in its third page, when you go down to the largest paragraph, the last sentence, it says, all rights to this pamphlet, right? And it gives you a date, 1928. When you trace this literature to that time, the oral statements finds its origin within the 80s. This is almost 60 to 70 years after the Prophet. So this is what somebody said, okay? So when within the Moorish Holy Quran, it states that you have belief, you have faith, and fruition. Us here, we do not stand on belief, we do not stand on faith, we stand on fruition. So that literature in which was stated is the actual literature of the Prophet. So a lot of Moors may subscribe to those oral statements and they may draw from the oral statements, but that was not said or left by the Prophet of Islam.
Mhm.
Yeah, 1927 more the Moorish Quran. So you have no international or anything to substantiate your claim that nationality got to be confirmed through the Nation of Islam. It
I,
can't be
did,
confirmed.
I never said it had to be confirmed through the Nation of Islam. I said that you have to have unity, you have to have a tribe, you have to have a government, you have to have land. That's how you confer nationality. If you can show me another way to confer it through all the laws and things that you're speaking about, we're all ears. Everybody hearing.
Sheikh Amir, explain it to him.
Sure. So first off, well, actually, I'm just going to go into it, and then I'll go into the point that I was going to say. So let's take a real historical example to show that there's other ways of which nationality can exist or be conferred, right? And we won't go ancient time. We'll do some modern stuff, international law and all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had the Pilgrims who preceded the modern American construct or the wave of immigrants from Europe to this land, right? Or the peregrinus in the Latin or whatever. They traveled from Europe, where they had nationality over there, and they were under a rulership, and there was a state religion and all of this, right? And they came on a ship, and while they were on the ship, they cultivated a covenant, a contract,
A compact.
similar to what the Constitution represents to us today as Americans, right? And this covenant or the contract, the parties of that contract were the inhabitants on the ship before they even got to land, let alone possess land. How could they have any land to possess, and they're creating their nationality on water, or their social contract as a society on water? They didn't even possess land. But when they came over here and they landed, they took land or whatever, or occupied some land. But prior to that, they already agreed. Once they all agreed as a collective, and they had a written covenant amongst them, what their prior nationality to was inconsequential. They've already pledged allegiance. They've renounced their prior nationality, pledged allegiance to this new nation, and all of a sudden they're a nation. So when we look at the Black's Law's dictionary definition, which is a secondary legal source. One moment, Morris. Black's Law Dictionary. Okay. So we're going to look at the definition of black. Actually, I'll share my screen. I'll share my screen, make it a little more. We got the technology available. Why not do it? Okay. So we're going to look at our national government. Well, we'll just click on the link, and then we'll type in the word. Nationality. So we're going to Google the term nationality. Okay, no, that didn't work either. I didn't mean national. Bear with me, please. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have it now, right? So this is, the lawdictionary.org, right? Featuring Black's Law's Dictionary, free online legal dictionary, 2nd edition, okay? What is nationality? That quality or character which arises from the fact of a person belonging to a nation or state. We could stop right there. That is what nationality is, right? Nationality determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance. Okay, so going back to the example, where we have what they call in history the Mayflower Compact.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that Mayflower Compact is looked at as a constitutional document conferring nationality to the parties involved. Okay, so this is when it came to their allegiance. Their allegiance was no longer to the crown of England or whatever European monarch or despot that they had to bow down to in whatever church or religious institution. See, their nationality and their religion went in tandem. They also renounced their former religious structure. And this is where you have the Puritans, right? So let's continue. While domicile determines his civil status. So this is where people, not understanding legal language, they may say where they reside, but where they domicile, where their primary location of where they physically are. Where your residence being more of a legal, designation. So nationality arises either by birth or naturalization. Now, this is the very important part of the definition, because see, this is what you're talking about. According to Sagni, so this is a political science guy or whatever that wrote on the subject. Nationality is also used as opposed to territoriality. As opposed, meaning it's not the same. They're not two things. It's the same thing. For the purpose of distinguishing the case of a nation having no national territory. Wait a second, but you can't have a nation with no national territory? Yes, you can. They provide an example, e.g., the Jews. Okay? So they may be referencing during a period of the time prior to, or actually the time coming up of the armies of Joshua, taking over the Holy Land of Canaan and then making it the land of Israel. Or they may be talking about the European Jews from Europe who essentially began to inhabit that land in the 1940s based on geopolitical circumstances during the time of World War II. Not to be confused with the original inhabitants and descendants of that people. Okay, so them not having a land, they were still recognized as a nation, and the powers that won World War II agreed upon them being able to inhabit that territory as a nation of people, without actually saying we agree that this is your land in that particular circumstance. So there's a lot of controversy regarding the Israeli-Palestinian conflicts over the decades and all that. So that's just tying it to modern world situations. But no, you don't have to have a land. These, like, that may be what they teach in the Nation of Islam. But when we're talking about what they teach in universities around the world, what they teach and what they demonstrate in terms of various different congresses and legislative bodies,
what they
and
teach,
governmental institutions around the world, this is what nationality is. It has nothing to do with land or all of the things that you're saying. So now that I've explained that, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. But before I turn over the floor to you, let me say this. I want in your response to you, for you to demonstrate how, because you had made the claim that nationality can only be conferred through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Prophet Noble Ali basically didn't have the authority, he didn't have the capability, or he just flat out didn't do it. So I want you to be able to demonstrate how the Nation of Islam is an actual nation, beyond the fact that it has nation in its name and it has a flag. Like, how is the Nation of Islam an actual nation? Is it an actual nation? Or if you're saying the Nation of Islam is not the entity, you got to explain how Elijah Muhammad at least had that power to convey nationality, and Noble Drew Ali didn't. And with that, I'm going to yield the floor to you, brother. Peace.
peace, Islam. In that piece that you showed from the Black Laws Dictionary, where it was telling you that concerning the territory aspect, when the prophets stated that we have to proclaim, with us you have to proclaim, the way that everything is set up right now, and I did never say that the Nation of Elijah Muhammad confers it. I was saying the blueprint to properly confer, not proclaim. Everything that you just stated to me from the beginning aspect of it has everything to do with proclaiming. All that is just proclaiming. Taking an oath that this part you used about the boat, that scenario. Those people taking oaths and saying that they're I guess they're casting out their old national. I don't understand how they do that. I mean, I guess I do, because they took an oath over here. But what I'm stating, based off of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Prophet Noble Drew Ali, to confer, it has to be in the government with land, with a constitution. To proclaim, you can proclaim it if you can proclaim your nationality in your societies and things of that nature, because that's what Prophet Noble Drew Ali did when he set up a Moorish Science Temple in Chicago, because of the laws that was in Chicago allowed him to give birth to his society. And later, the laws was going to be changed to where you're going to actually have to have land in order to confer. So I'm in 100% agreement with those who have started societies and helping people to proclaim their nationality. I'm just in a disagreement with those societies that's saying that they're conferring, because I'm in agreements with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from nationality, unity, land, government, things of that nature. I'm just in agreement with that. That's my position of it. And the Nation of Islam, no, is not a nation. It's an organization. It can't be a nation. We don't even discuss no type of nation building. We don't do government things. You're gonna have to tie that in with Prophet Noble Ali. And that's where I mix the two at, because I'm not saying being a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because it's so many different splendor groups of that I never know who I'm talking to. Because I'll be talking to this splendor group that's trying to merge with the government. Then I'll be talking to this splendor group over here that's trying to start a government. So then I have those two telling me different things about the other one, and the other one telling me different things about this one. So I keep my base and my focus and stand on my square within the messenger. That's what I stand there to get my clarity over the confusion of what the prophet left behind in all these different splendors fighting about really, to me, conferring nationality, because proclaiming it has advanced now. You can proclaim it on social media, things of that nature. Because to confer it, you can't go to the airport and swipe your card in there. I mean, you're not looked at as a nation as much as you saying that you're probably a nation on paper and probably can deal with certain things of taxes and things of that nature. But as far as having land and things of that aspect is dealing with the conferring the nationality. So no, I never said Noble Drew Ali didn't have the power to confer it, because even if you deal with the reality of that, Prophet Noble Drew Ali,
Who has the power to confirm it, though? I'm confused.
nobody have it right now. That's on us, those of us, the Moorish people.
So what does Elijah Muhammad have to? What does Elijah Muhammad and the nation have to do with confirming nationality? They don't even teach nationality.
I didn't say. I said what he left behind, meaning we have a tribe. I have a tribe. I'm part of the tribe of Shabbat. I have to get land. So
But we just showed you in international law, you don't need land.
Nationality. That's
What
not
does the word proclaim? What does the word proclaim mean?
the government in which you live in. If you don't have no
What does
land, you're
what
just
does
a society.
but we just you're making this up, Ali.
No, that's in the law. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
he just showed you in the law that you don't need a land to proclaim nationality or have or confirmed. They was confirmed nationality through that compact on land. They was conferred nationality. They didn't have a land.
So right now, if you
He just showed you that.
with you guys, who accepts that? The UN?
Oh, all right. Well, that's a great question. Actually, that's actually a fantastic question. So before I answer your question, I also want to preface it to say that what I had asked you originally, I didn't really get. I didn't get, but we'll get to that in a second. We follow, like, if you look at the post, I'm sure you know you follow my Grand Sheik on social media, on Facebook, so I'm sure you might have seen this post already. He talked about he follows after his predecessor, the Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle L. Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle L was the first man who was born, recorded in the United States of America as Negro, as black, to have his nationality, not his nationality, excuse me, his racial designation changed to white. So when you ask who recognizes it, he demonstrated what the prophet stated. And when I say he, I'm talking about Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle. What he demonstrated in this particular time was in line with what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught. So we're going to take a look at that. Let's take a look at, can somebody get me the divine warning by the prophet?
Wow. Islam.
So can we get to that, the part where it says there's but one issue? You know my part. Now, this is something Prophet Noble Drew Ali did right. This is located in the Moorish literature. Islam, Sheikh, 1 second. So this is something that the Prophet Noble Ali did, in fact, write. Every Moorish American that has a copy of the Moorish literature, regardless of what body they have, is going to have the same words. They're going to have the same words as we have the same words in the Circle 7 Quran. So let us look at that divine warning. Sheikh Muhammad.
Islam. Moorish literature, page 6. Top left paragraph. Mid paragraph. There's but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth. And it
Wait, stop right there.
comes
Hold on. So the Prophet already said there's only one issue. And this is why we're having this discussion today. Because this particular warning is about that one issue. It's about that word black and Negro and colored and
Right.
African American and
Right.
all these misnomer terms. This is the one issue he's talking about.
Facts.
Okay, so when we saying this,
I agree.
Elijah Muhammad taught us that we are black. That's who we are. He told us that was our identity. But our Prophet Noble Ali said, no, that is not your identity. And he told us that before Elijah Muhammad came on the scene. There's no way Elijah Muhammad was studying Islam in America and was not aware of the teachings of Prophet Noble Ali at all. Not in the geographical location of where he grew up. It's not possible. Not in our community. It's not possible.
It's not.
We used the figure 20,000, but it was said that in Chicago alone, it was 30,000 of our people that the Prophet got to elect the first so-called black legislator, Oscar the Priest. That he had Chicago, he has so much political clout in Chicago that he had 30,000 of our people go out and elect an official.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can't say that a man can't go out to our people, teach that we're not black and have success when he already showed it in that time. So let's talk about that one issue that he said. And you said you wanted to know who recognizes it. He said there's one issue for us to be recognized by this government. He's talking about the United States of America recognizing us and the world government. So the entire international community are supposed to recognize our people according to the words of our prophet that we follow. Islam, Sheikh Muhammad. Please continue.
Islam. By this government and of the earth. And it comes only through the connection of the Moorish divine national movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world.
Right
and
there. So wait, let's slow that down. Read that one more time and be prepared to stop at any word.
Islam. It comes only through the connection.
It comes only through. All right. So the prophet ain't saying it's multiple pathways. So when you think you could be on this side of the fence and then when it's convenient, jump onto the other side of the fence, it's only one way that our people are going to be recognized based on this one issue. And he said it comes only through what?
The connection of the Moorish divine national movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world.
Through the connection of this divine Moorish national movement. All right? It's no other movement. You know, there have been many great leaders among our people. The Honorable Elijah Muhammed is among them. That we have nothing but respect and reverence for this man. But we're not blind followers, not of him, nor of the Prophet Noble Ali. If the Prophet was wrong, none of us sheiks would be here discussing this with you. We'd be living our lives, doing whatever we want to do on this beautiful Sunday. But we devote our lives to this because all we see is truth in the teachings of the Prophet Noble Ali. So let's return to those teachings. It says it comes only through this Moorish divine national movement that's incorporated. So he's telling us that something happened, that this movement was incorporated. So now we have to look at the law that he incorporated under. It's incorporated into this government, meaning it's incorporated in the United States of America. And through this incorporation, we're recognized throughout the world. Now, how did he incorporate? He incorporated under the Religious Corporation Act, which was a law in the state of Illinois that was passed in the Illinois General Assembly that gave a religious society the capacity to incorporate as a body politic or incorporate as a government.
Right.
Now, this is no longer feasible for organizations to do today, because if it was, the Nation of Islam would be able to just do the same thing. But the Prophet was the one that did it.
Right.
And when the Prophet did it, Rome closed the doors.
Right.
They closed the doors behind him so that
Right.
no one else could follow suit. That is why he's the one true and divine prophet in this day and times, born in the Asiatics of the West in North America. So he incorporated us as a government. Can governments confer nationality? Answer, yes.
Yes. Yes. Now, what splendor?
Hold on. Before you go, Mo.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I just showed you. I gave you all relevant legislation and everything.
I'm
gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you, Mo. I'm gonna give it to you.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
You were asked a question prior to I went. It's the only reason why I'm interjecting. Now you made the claim that Elijah Muhammad can confer nationality. I showed you how Prophet. I walked you A to Z. You did say that. Well, it's recorded. So if you didn't say it, then everyone will witness that you didn't say it. If you did say it, everyone will witness that you did, and you didn't stand on it. So you can go ahead now, Mo. The floor is yours.
Yes, sir. When you said they must come through this corporation, so that's under the 1010. It's different sets of the Moors, and by me talking with you guys, I'm finding more and more out what set I'm talking to. So because you got some that's dealing with the 501c3 aspect of it, and I know that they definitely can't confer, and I know it was only one, the original, the one who. Now I don't know which. When I'm dealing with different Moors, I don't be knowing what set is what. The set that the Prophet set up in Chicago, and then when that thing split off with these different brothers, I know that is one set of them that if I encounter them, I know that this is the one that can confer because the Prophet set it up. And like you said, Rome shut down them doors. I already knew that. That's why it's so important. Now, see, we at a place where I want to be at now. That's why it's so important when I'm speaking about, when I'm hearing the malice, which I don't hear in you, I hear you stressing points about the black aspect and things of that nature. But what I'm saying to you is that that's all right. That has ran its course. But my brothers who can realize the importance of nationality. When I say my brothers, meaning my brothers in the Nation of Islam, I'm meaning the conscious ones. I'm not talking about the 85% of people that you can never even talk to them on a higher level. But when I'm dealing with my brothers, my f.o.i brothers, things of that nature, and I can get them to understand the importance of nationality and things of the aspect, then now you're looking at already army, already it's already self-made, self-set up from Nationality, Muhammad, Elijah Muhammed, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Brother Ali, you're not answering the question, right?
What was the direct question? Because what he said to me is, I'm in agreement with the brother. That's where I'm trying to get to.
So if you're in agreements, then your statement that
hold on. I'm trying to tie the two together there. That's where
that's your problem.
No, that's not the problem. That's the problem.
That's your problem. You're trying to tie the two when the two can't be tied at a certain point.
No, they can.
And that they can't. You have not demonstrated. Ali, you have not demonstrated the connection and the tie through this whole demonstration. We've been on here since. We've been on here since 1 o'clock. You have not shown and proven not one thing. Because, like I said, it's a time when you have that boat. You have to put that boat down and come across the mountain. And because you're trying to carry that boat across the mountain, you've been stuck and stagnated, and you're on this call, and you're not showing proving anything because You're riding the fence with both organizations. And that's why you're
Well,
looking at the way you look at this time, more.
no. What happens with me in this position is I'm in a 100% agreement that Master Muhammad, that Allah appeared in that person. So I'm not stuck. I understand that this boat has to go. I understand this is the route. I'm not stuck, because you don't believe that what we believe.
This is not the
No, I'm
issue
not
about
stuck. I'm
Farah
with
Muhammad.
you. I'm
We
with what
talking
you.
about law,
I'm
more.
with what you're
We're not
talking
talking
about.
about belief. This,
No,
listen,
but
more. If you want to
that's where
believe
you
in
claim
Master
I'm
Farah Muhammad,
stuck.
that's
I'm
fine.
not stuck
So
right
show
there.
and
I
prove.
understand.
Can you show and prove what you've been saying? Because you have not shown and proved anything yet. Show and
Brother, I
prove to
just told you I'm in
us.
agreement with you guys in that aspect of it, because that's where nationality and conferring nationality, proclaiming nationality, you're not going to get around the prophet,
So
and
you
you're not going to
agree
get around
that
the
Prophet
messenger.
Noble Ali, so you agree that Prophet Noble and the Muslim have the ability to confer nationality according to what the Sheikh Amir El just demonstrated, according to
It,
Hezbollah statutes, and us being a part of politics and making us a government.
yeah,
That the Sheiks are officers
if
within the
you
Muslim
guys got
government
your
to
charter,
confirm nationality.
if you got your charter from the original, I don't know the exact area code or barcode. I know it's 10105937, something like that. If you're grandfathered in through them or part of that, yes. If you're not, hell no.
All the more science temples of America, whether they come from Emily L, Kirkman Bay, or John Gibbs, they'll have the power to confer nationality to its members. We don't deal with that division because it's according to our authority, which is
So where do
the
you
back
guys
of the
get your
101s. It's
charter
not
from?
dealing with
Who
the
give you
charter.
your charter? Or you?
It's not dealing with it's not the charter. Is not about the charter. The charter has nothing to do with
That
the
is the authority. Who
authority.
gives you your authority? You in New
Nah,
York?
Islam, or that's not. It's the charter.
See,
Mind you, you already brought up the 501c3 thing, so you to some degree have an understanding. It's not the incorporation. I mean, it's not the charter that gives the authority. It's the incorporation that gives the charter authority.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir. Right.
depending on how you incorporate, you could be incorporated as a regular company, just like a little S corp or a C corp or LLC or whatever. You can be incorporated just like a regular company or a non-for-profit or whatever, and you can make your own charter and put some stickers on it, whatever, or and what have you. Like, it's not that hard to do that. But for that charter to have authority, it needs to be that charter needs to be conveyed by someone who is under this particular incorporation.
Thank you. That's what I'm asking.
yes, but
So,
the prophet already did it.
See,
Listen, the prophet or
and bringing clarity to what's being said here.
but now listen, you're not. Hold on, you got to keep listening more because it's still some more learning.
No, I'm listening, but I have to hear something.
So our authority, represents all the Moorish Science temples of America, regardless of the fact that some people will claim an authority over here, some people claim it over there. It doesn't matter. They all have the authority.
We all got the same authority.
Their sheikhhood could be traced back to the Prophet Noble Ali. So we acknowledge all sheikhs of the Moorish Science temples of America.
How come Canada don't have it then? Because he don't go back to Prophet Noble Ali?
He's not a sheikh of the Moorish Science temple of America. The USAR has no affiliation with the Prophet Noble Ali whatsoever.
How about
So
Mag?
you talking about other Moorish groups?
How about Mag?
Say that again.
How about Mag?
Let me ask you a question. Wait. Let me just say something. Does that does that says is Mag the Moorish temple of America? Does that says that?
I'm not a part of most saints of America.
Does it? If you was caught, listen, brother, you gotta listen. If you're saying Mag and the prophet stuff of the Muslim of America, how's it under the prophet Noble Ali is a totally different name?
But you can't tell them that.
Well, we're not here to tell them that. Like whatever those brothers do, listen. What you're doing right now? You're moving. You're trying to divert the conversation to other Moorish groups. Whatever those Moors do, we're dealing with. What we're telling you is that, listen. All the Muslims of America had the same authority. Was in the back. Let me finish. Which in the back of our 101s. Which was it's a public domain that all Muslims of America is able to utilize and able to confer nationality to their members, because we all use the authority is the back of the 101s. We all use the same authority, which is not the charter, which is the authority. We all use it, so we're not dealing with division. But my point is that from 1 o'clock to now, you have not proven that black was a nationality. You have not proved.
I never.
You
That's what I'm
haven't
saying.
proved.
You
You
saying,
was wrong.
see what you're
Listen,
doing. I
you was
asked you from the
wrong.
beginning, is
Listen,
it a
I'm
debate
gonna let you
or a
talk. I'm gonna
bill?
let you
I
more.
asked you was it a debate
I'm
or a
gonna let you
bill?
talk. I'm gonna let you talk.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
got you, more. I'm gonna let you talk.
Okay.
You
Yes,
have
sir.
not proved. You was misinformed about the territory aspect of the law. Sheikh Amir El showed you that you don't need a territory, and this is the reason because you have to get in. Like you claim you immersed into the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammed. Like for instance, can you tell me the first degree law from lesson number 2?
Are you letting me do the
You know
homework? Or
you
we
know the
building?
lessons.
Because
Yeah,
it's
I'm
time.
asking you. No,
It's time.
I'm asking you to wait.
Listen,
I'm
bro.
asking you. I'm
Listen.
asking you the first degree
I just tried to
in
talk one
law
minute.
from lesson number 2. What's the
If you're
first
gonna let
degree?
me talk, I'm gonna listen to you. If you're gonna let me talk, I'm gonna close out. If you want to talk, say all your points. Then,
No, you could.
like you said,
Real
it has been. It's
more.
been.
You could talk. I'm just asking you a question.
I'm
That's all.
not going back and forth anymore. I just want to close out because you said I haven't proved any of my points, and I want you to do your closing. I do my closing, and then I'm not. It wasn't for debate. It
It's
was
not a
like
debate. It's a
I know what you're
bill,
saying,
but
but you
don't.
created it into a
No,
debate. And
listen.
the other brother is turning it into a bill.
No,
And
it is a
that's why
bill.
I asked
We're
you
not.
personally this morning. I
It's
said,
not a bill. It's not a
bill.
debate.
Yeah, but
It's
you're
not.
turning it to debate because I'm not. If it was a
No, you're
debate,
being
I'd be in
emotional.
another area.
You're
I'm
being
for the bill.
emotional, brother.
I'm for the bill. So if we're gonna
Listen,
close out,
but in a
say
bill.
your
But listen,
closing statement for your radio
Ali,
show, and
you don't
I'll get
gotta run, brother. We could bill.
it's
Listen, all them.
almost 3 o'clock. I got something to do. You can do the closing, and like you said, you would let me speak, or I can say what I wanted to say, and and you can say, and I'm out because
I
I'm
wasn't
not.
finished, but it wasn't. It's not a debate, and we're not gonna put this up as a debate. We stated as a debate. Our word is bond. The bond is like we give our life before our word shall fail. So it's not a debate. It's a bill.
And
But it's
that's
not.
all I want to do.
Sometime in a bill, this happens when you building. I don't know.
No,
Like
but
me,
I stand
let
back
me just
though.
say, like I'm in a nation. I'm from New York, and I built with the Nation of Gods and Earth back in
But
the
I just
day.
want to close out, brother.
And we would build sometime, and it would get like that.
Close
But don't
out.
mean that it's a debate.
I just want to close out. The way you started, it sounded like you was trying to do the same thing you did at Sea Cannon Bay, but y'all probably was more of a debate.
No, with C Cannon Bay, that was a debate. With
Okay,
us, it's a bill.
right. Well, the way you closing out, it's like you're trying to close out with that. I was coming with a bill. I'm in
It
agreement with
is a bill,
It's
but
Islam.
I'm in agreement
Islam.
with
Islam.
a lot of. I'm in agreement with the prophet. It's just splinter groups of these Moors that I had to cipher through. That's all it is. I'm in agreement over there.
So, Brother Elamin, we definitely appreciate you coming to our Sunday meeting. I understand you might feel like it was a debate in your mind, but you have to
No, I don't feel
understand
like
that.
it.
But
He's
just let me
turning
just
it
say this:
into one at the ending
you're
point.
more
I don't see it like that. I see
on my honor, more. I'm like we're gonna let you talk, and because you said you have something to do. I just want you to understand something, Mo. Just one thing from one brother to the next.
yes, sir.
You could be my biological brother, but if you're taking the words or using the Prophet Noble Ali or his teachings, and it's misrepresented because it's not pure, then I have to call you on it as a brother. Like we pray but at the beginning of every meeting and at the end of every meeting, and our Prophet is in our prayer. This is our way of life as a people. His word is our law. You understand, Mo?
Yes, sir.
So it's not a personal thing about you. It's not a personal thing about this particular group's teachings or that particular group's teachings, whether they profess to be Moors or not. It's about the Prophet Noble Ali and what he brought and how it's supposed to uplift us as a people. And so if we truly being humble as people, we could just say, well, I'm wrong on this, I'm wrong on that, I need to do more research on this, or whatever have you. Because all we asking you to do is show and prove it. And this is from people who were members of the Nation of Islam. It was always a show and prove. It was never about your feelings or your emotions, and you had to prove your position or step back from that particular position. You would have to acquiesce if you didn't have the information. You understand, brother? It's not. So
Yes,
this is
sir.
bills could look like debates, but you're going to be challenged to prove what you know or what you claim to know in a cipher among erudites. You wearing a fez.
Yes, sir. And I'm in total agreement with that. But the part that's being missed here, it's like my agreeing with majority of the things you guys saying is giving the wrong impression where you can't see like, wait, this brother agree here. Yeah. It's just an area that with the brother, the area that he's touching on me is about the boat aspect. That's where he's telling me I need to leave the boat and climb this mountain, that aspect. And that's where I want to close out at because that's where he, you know, he opened up at. And I'm in agreement with, like I said, that I deal with this with my own brothers when you get to dealing with nationality in the aspect of black. I, right there. So I'm already got one issue over there. But and I know you guys know this because whenever you're dealing with a registered member of Nation Islam, y'all probably not y'all, but dealing with you guys, you probably had the hardest time in the world, and you always keep debating about this word black. And that's so with me, you probably went further than you ever went with probably a member in the nation because I'm in agreement with a lot of the things that you guys saying, and a lot of more say I'm in agreement with it based on our teaching. I can see it from a different aspect than my brothers. My other brothers, they'll sit here and argue with you all day. Black is not deaf. That's the white man named Black. Black is the color in which all things come from. You know, God's of the union. I'm not finna go there with just sound like a parrot. You know what I'm saying? If we start thinking, we'll be able to recognize the prophet and where the messenger and Master Muhammad, the minister, are leading us without them directly saying it. And people have a problem with me being able to recognize like this, these two go together. And that's the aspect. So when I'm dealing with Moors, a lot of time they might want to say, you know, fight against me about the part black. And we don't need to fight with that. I'm more on just establishing the government. Let's complete the work, because that's what our mission is for the nation, from what the messenger said, to complete what Marcus Garvey and the prophet did, and to honor them, and not honor them like honor and forget them. Like, no, honor them and duplicate that. And so within the Moors Science Temple of America, it is one which I may be off because I'm not a professional. I've been in the nation 30 years. I'm not a professional of the prophet, but I do know I probably got it wrong when he said the charter, but whatever he set up in Chicago, that aspect of what he set up is the origins of what it sounds appear that you guys are saying that you are connected to it. And when I say team 593 or something like that, you guys either know what I'm talking about and are not a part of that, or you know what I'm talking about and you're not saying like yeah, brother, you're right in that aspect.
Islam, you're talking about the back of the 101 solicited number 1010-5905. That's connected to our Religious Incorporation Act, Illinois 805. And when you read that actual law, it states that and may adopt a corporate name, the Moorish Science Temple of America. And upon the filing on that affidavit, 1010-5905,
yes, sir,
as hereafter provided, it shall be and remain a body politic, which is a nation, and corporate by the name so adopted, Islam, which is the Moorish Science Temple of America.
right, and nobody can change it. Once they mess with that, it's no longer a part of that.
Now, Islam, that's what we are part of.
That's the authority.
Then y'all my people then. Thank you. Lord, thank you, brother, for just stepping in and saying, man, that's when I'm dealing with people. Oh my shit, I've been looking for you. Don't be mad at me for being in love with the messenger, brother. Y'all not that group. That's why I came on here, and I'm not off safety. I'm looking for something. And it's been me and T. Cannon Bay, we had the same debate like you guys have. But the energy, when we first came on here from the beginning, what I felt from this, if I say it was in the building, what I felt. So when I deal with these cats, I didn't feel that. So that's why I'm like, man, don't turn it into no bait. Don't turn it as like I didn't do this and do this, because I'm really connected. If I didn't complete my statements or things of that nature, it's because you guys completed it. And so I didn't want to turn the ending into like it was a debate, and I didn't do this, I didn't do that, because it was a teaching moment really for my brothers as well, because I had no reason to defend the messenger, the minister, as much as on their character, only just with the aspect of black. And when I just said the aspect of black, I said it was just for a time. That's all I had to do with you guys. I didn't have to go off into different areas of the ministers, the most popular.
Brother, we still not in agreement at the end of the day. At the end of this discussion, you know, I understand you.
I know y'all not in agreement, because it's a huge problem with that aspect of the Nation of Islam in that area. But I'm saying, I know, that time is up. That's all I'm saying. Now, I know you. I understand why you wouldn't. But you don't have no malice in your heart towards the minister or the messenger, right?
At the end of the day, they love our people like many of our people love our people, but they're just men. And their teachings in terms of black being an identity are wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
I can have a biological father that I love to death. It don't mean that he's that he's perfect and that he's above reproof.
And you are right.
And so they are our forefathers.
Y'all been saying that for 90-some years, and God has prepared the plate for the minister and the messenger in our face. Now it's time. Now your voice can be heard now in what you're saying. Just as long as you honor those men. That's all. Your boy, you got a bright future now. We have a bright future, but we can't attack the minister and the messenger and Nationality Muhammad.
But brother, the entire time you keep saying not to attack them in the entire conversation.
I'm agreeing with you, brother.
We've been very respectful, and we've held those brothers in reverence in our personal lives. We've already explained that to you. Baptists of our members from their childhood have influences of these men, have photos of the Honorable Elijah Muhammed hung up in their rooms.
Oh, praise the Lord.
So it's not but again, we're not in agreement on the teachings.
Not you. I don't expect you.
No, I understand, but the whole discussion is like you would agree with some teachers in the Moorish Science of America, and you would agree with some teachers in the Nation of Islam. What we wanted to see if you were able to do was to present those teachers in a cohesive way that we could synthesize them, and we haven't been able to do that because we haven't been able to see any evidence for us, and it's okay. It's okay for your personal life, for you to navigate, Mo. You know, you do what you feel is right in your heart.
Yes, sir.
But that particular way of thinking is gonna again harken back to the Grand Sheikh statement, stunting your growth, because you're trying to do two things at one time. You're trying to mesh them together, and they just don't mesh together.
With we got Nationality Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, Travis Shabazz, all these people were, if you guys were the body, if you was the 12 scientists, I would be the one that would go to get my people. That's the difference. Either you give me your permission to do it or you'll help me. That's the only thing I can conclude with it, because I understand your position, and all I'm saying is our people were and still are buried in the word black. We have to find a way to meet them where they stand and bring them out.
Well, Mo, we just gonna have to end it on this note.
The circle of us.
You go your way, Mo.
The circle 7
listen, Mo.
The circle 7 is that body.
We're not bending on the word black
of the land.
We are not
to take it to the
on the word black.
And to UN and things of that nature.
With all due respect, Mo, we are not bending on the word black. Not even on a microscopic fraction of a centimeter. Are we going to bend?
Why would you?
Yeah, he don't.
Why would you? It was already big.
So you can go your way. You can go your way with it, and we go our way.
For bending it?
But
listen, we don't agree with it.
Like yourself, bend it. Why would you?
Ali, you don't see that? That's like mixing water.
Y'all hear me? Why would you bend it? I'm asking you that. Why would you? I'm not.
Why? We said we would not bend on the word.
Why would you though? I'm not asking
exactly. If we would bid on that word, we would not be qualified to be sheiks in the Moorish Science Temple of America. We would not be qualified to lead our people as sheiks in the Moorish Science Temple of America if we adopted that word or tried to bid just for the sake of popularity among our people.
I wouldn't ask you to do that. It has already been done.
But that's what I'm saying. Then you want to do that. You got to go your way. You got to go your way with that, and we got to go ours. This is where we got to part ways because we're not bidding on it, and you feel that that's the way to go, and that's fine, brother. We can love you on our path, in our direction, and you can go with yours.
Where did you get that from? Did I say that? Did I say that, or are you saying that?
No, that's what you're saying. You're saying essentially that.
I said it was used for a time. That's what I said. I just said
it's wrong. It was wrong then, and it's wrong now. That's what we say.
Right.
And we cannot mix the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad with the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. We don't believe in it, and that's just where we gonna stand. That's what.
But let me say something, Sheik. You don't see, Brother Ali, how you mixing water and wait. Let me just finish. Ali,
like
can I finish?
Fighting for black. That's the problem here.
Ali, but you don't see how you mixing
black. So we can go and close out because we had the brother who closed it out the last time. We had a beautiful ending. You know what I'm saying? We can let the people decipher through there because it sounds like I'm saying the same thing over and over. I'm not here arguing with you guys about black. Why would you bend the teachings and agree with black? It's always been done. It's been all that's done over with. I'm in agreement with that. I wouldn't ask you to do that. But if you're saying you go your separate ways from me because I love the prophet and I love the minister and the messenger.
That's not.
We're not saying that.
Nobody said that.
Nobody said. Well, Ali, you gotta listen to what we're saying. Nobody ever said that. We just said that we have the pictures on. Let me just say, we have the pictures of Honorable Elijah Muhammad in our homes. I was born in the Nation of Islam. We don't talk bad about the messenger in our temple. You're bringing up something that is. Well, let me finish more. You're bringing up things that's irrelevant, like things that we're not pertaining to. We just showing you that you're mixing apples and oranges, and you're trying to combine the two. And look what you're.
Same thing. Y'all don't hear. Y'all the ones not hearing, man. Y'all the ones not hearing. So let's conclude right here, brother. It was a beautiful bill.
You're getting emotional again.
Islam.
What are you talking about, bro?
He's already repeatedly saying he want to close. So we're gonna let the brother go. We're not gonna hold him hostage. He said what he thought he had to get off his chest. He felt like he heard what we had to say, and we're approaching the close of our meeting anyway. So once again, Brother Elamin, we appreciate having you on our Sunday meeting. Unfortunately, we couldn't come to an agreement in terms of ideology, but that often happens when you're dealing with outside organizational material. That's fine. We still love you, brother. You're welcome on our Sunday meeting. Any Sunday you would like to come on, and go in peace, Mo.
All day, yes, sir. It was cool. It was a nice bill, bro. And I learned extra things from you guys, and just I guess the radio station, the playback will speak for itself because I'm not one in agreement with black nothing. I knew it was for a time. That's my perception. Islam.
Well, Islam, I appreciate you.
Yes,
so I would like to thank the brother for coming on. Like a lot of brothers, they may disagree and they may come on Facebook, but it takes a lot of heart for a person to even come into a school of thought contrary. Well, I don't want to say contrary to your own because it's your position that you hold both teachings. So I don't want to put words in your mouth, whatever. We've already discussed this. But to have a person come on that may not agree with us all the way, or may have a stance contrary to our own, to actually come in and know that there's multiple sheiks and there's a lot of respect and honors that we got to get a brother just off the strength of that. And he was once again he was here since 1 o'clock. So definitely appreciate the brother for taking the time out of his Sunday to build with his brothers, out here in New York. So peace and love for that, brother.
Yeah.
Also,
I just want to say something.
Islam, go ahead.
Let me just say something before you do the prayer. Yeah, brother. I mean, we definitely respect you coming on the call. Like I said, a lot of brothers, they don't have the heart to do what you just did. So we definitely give you your respect, and we just hope that you could just reevaluate the teaching of Prophet Noble Dream and look at it more deeper, and come to a consensus. And we appreciate you, coming on our Zoom meeting. And again, it wasn't a debate. It was a bill, but sometimes when you build, it could get a little bit like it got, but it don't mean that it's a debate.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so we just want to say peace and love to you. We're gonna close our meeting with our prayer. You can stay for our prayer if you like,
Yes,
if
sir.
you
I
are
stay for
comfortable with the prayer.
Yeah, it's long, Sheik. So, Mr. Pardon, he's been waiting very patiently. He prefers to be called Steve or Mr. Steve. So we're gonna answer his questions. We'll close out the meeting, but we'll maybe stay a few minutes longer to answer his questions pertaining to more science. Those that are interested in assisting in that. Islam.
Oh, that's fine.
Islam.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I'm gonna mute
So,
everyone's.
Mr. Steve, you can.
Oh, go ahead, Grand Sheik.
We doing a prayer now.
Yeah, I was gonna just close it out now
Islam,
before
yeah,
we.
we only have 5 minutes.
No,
So we're gonna
I think it's
do.
fine. Yeah, we can close it out first.
We're gonna.
We can continue with the meeting, but unofficially continue it. Like we'll close the
Okay.
meeting, but continue to build. Is what I'm trying to say. Before
Okay. All right. Cool.
we.
So do your thing.
Okay.
Do your thing. I got you.
So at this time, we're gonna once again, Mr. Parton or Steve. Actually, I believe you said you prefer to be called Steve, so we're gonna call you Steve. We're gonna close out our meeting with our prayer, but the ending of the meeting is not the ending of the discussion. We're gonna answer all of the questions that you were giving me in a private chat, and you're also free to open up your mic once we conclude the prayer. But at this time, I ask that everyone's mic remain muted. I'm going to mute everyone's mic at this time, close out with the prayer, and then we will move on to the conversation with Steve. So Islam, at this time, those who are participating in the prayer, please face the east. And also those who are able to do so, please face the east at this time. Feet on a 45-degree angle, 5 fingers on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, through his holy prophet.